Hi everyone, this is Esateys. What is the real conversation that you're not having? Wonder what that means? Well, let me tell you what it's really about. Today I'm going to talk about the hidden reasons that we have anxiety and fear and things that literally will create disruption in every cell of our body. And at the end of this, you're going to better understand that, and you're also going to know one step at least that you can take that will make this be different than what it currently is. And the first thing I want to ask you to do is remember this. If you don't remember anything else about this recording, what I would really like you to do is I want you to remember that we are never angry for the reason that we think. We are never angry for the reason that we think. I believe that's from the Course in Miracles. And it is so very true. When you become very aware of what's really going on underneath the cover, so to speak, then you'll start to recognize that our anger is it's a shroud. It's something that we put over what's really going on, which is usually fear. So when pain is there, what we do, what the ego does, is it looks for ways to be able to deal with this. And it will just search and search and search and search. And it'll find ways that it thinks will be the most acceptable. So there may be something that's really at your core that's bothering you. But what happens is you either don't speak about it, suppression. And remember that depression is suppressed anger. Depression is suppressed anger. So when you are feeling something and you're not dealing with it, what happens? Your energy is going to go down. And when it goes deep inside of you, do you know what happens? You get high blood pressure. You get stomach issues. You get depressed. You become pissy. You become anxious. You may have panic attacks. You may have all kinds of things that, like lack of sleep. There's a lot of things that occur because emotion has an effect on the physical body. So what am I saying? I'm saying that we've got to get clear and we've got to get honest and we've got to get real about what it is that's really going on with us. Because if we don't, the body is going to pay a price. And so is your psyche. And so are your relationships. Your relationships with other people, relationship with yourself, your relationship with your money, with your animals, with virtually every single part of your life. So because we are usually ashamed or we're afraid to speak it, we don't. So what do? Well, first thing we do is we look at what is it that's really going on. Look beyond what it seems like. So, okay, I'm really angry because he didn't take the trash out. Well, that's not why you're really angry. That's a reason that has triggered a deeper place inside of you that is now activated and coming up. A lot of littles make a big. Remember that too. A lot of littles make a big. So when somebody says something to you that's demeaning or denigrating, and you don't say anything about it, but you just kind of, you feel it. And then something else happens that's kind of like, and you don't say anything about it, you don't do anything about it. And then the trash isn't taken out, the whole world shows up. And what happens is that looks like a more acceptable reason to be angry or to whatever. And so it looks like you didn't take out the trash, you didn't empty the dryer, you didn't, whatever it is. Things that are not really what's going on because there's so many things that have been suppressed underneath. Little things, it appears, but a lot of littles make a big. So this fear is going to create us thinking that it's not okay to speak what it is that we want. Why is that? Well, usually it's because we're afraid of the reaction. And what does that do? It starts to activate those deeper core issues like, oh my gosh, if I upset the apple cart, as they say, in this relationship, well, then I might be left. I might be alone. I'll be lonely. I'll be abandoned. And these core things that go on start to become activated. And so what do? We suppress some more. Or we get angry for reasons that aren't really what's going on because that deeper core issue is what it is that's really activated internally. So if we don't move this energy If we don't build the courage to speak effectively, then we're going to just keep adding piles and piles and piles and piles and piles on top of what it is that's going on. And I do a tremendous amount of relationship coaching. You all know that I have the Ultimate Relationship Academy site, and I've been coaching for many, many years. And even to this day, the things that people come to me with appear to be this, but it's really this. It's something much deeper. And most of the time, 15, 17, 20, 25 years before anybody gets to the place where they're at their breaking point. When you reach that breaking point, many times the wall is so big and there's so much water under the bridge, as they say, that people have become, each person in the partnership will then feel like they are done. They're dead. They don't feel anything. And what happens, the relationship goes apart or is frequently not repairable. Now, this relationship can be with your boss, it can be with your children, it can be with your employees, it can even be with your animals, and it can obviously be with a significant other or anyone on the planet. The principles that I'm giving you here have to do with everything and everyone, and that's important to recognize, because when you start to notice and you become more connected to what's really going on inside of you, you can make changes out here that will help you be courageous and help you speak the truth for what it is that is important for us to do. So we have to learn effective communication. We have to be brave enough to speak what it is that we want. So let's set the stage. You've got something going on and you're afraid to speak it. So one option is to be really honest. You know, I've got something going on and it's really uncomfortable for me to speak about this. In fact, it's actually scary because I have stuff going on. Let me tell you, the more transparent you are, the freer you will become. So you don't have to, but you can start your conversation with the truth. I mean, if for those of you that are speakers, you know that many times they'll just tell you to go on the stage and just say, okay, let's get this out of the way. I am freaking terrified. And as soon as you do that, you become so real that the audience now has compassion and openness for you, and they're there, you know, encouraging you on. So that's an option, is to just tell the truth. Another option is to say, there's been something that's been gurgling inside of me for some time now, and I just feel like it's time. I really must speak about this. Can we just sit down uninterrupted and have a conversation about this? Now, here's the key. When you get to this conversation, it is critical that you learn how to communicate effectively. And what that means, and I'm just going to give you a few basics today. You may know these, but they're good reminders if you do. One is, never, ever, ever, ever blame. Stop projecting your stuff on someone else. Give up the word you. Using the word you in a conversation that is coming from a deeper place is going to immediately set the energy like, whoa, it's over there. Let me tell you, it's never over there. It isn't. It seems like it is. Believe me, I do know it seems like it's over there. But we remember that the things that we have going on in our life are things that we have drawn towards us because of certain things. Either there's something that we want to learn from it, or it's something that we're reflecting back to ourselves, or it's a mastery step. It's a way that we get to learn how it is that we're going to deal with the world when it isn't always the way that we would like it to be. Because the world is never going to be the way you would like it to be in every single area and every single moment. Doesn't happen. We're not set up that way here. This is a polarity-based system. That means that we have rub. We have right, wrong, good, bad, up, down, you know, all the polarity stuff. So just accept the fact that we live in that kind of environment, and because of that, we are the ones that are in charge of our perception. We get to decide what we want to think about it. We get to decide how we want to react to it. Do we want to be reactive, or do we want to be in a state of response? That's what's really important. So if you're liking what you're hearing here, please share this video right now. go ahead and share it and hit that like button and those little hearts and things like that that go around. And I also want to, before I forget and before I finish, I want to remind you that if you go to the notifications button, you can set the notifications so when I'm going to do a Facebook Live, you'll get a notice about it. Because I know the time isn't always the exact every single time that I do one, and I love having you with me. So set that notification, and even if you can't go in that moment, then it'll remind you that you can come back and listen. And please tell your friends. I appreciate that a lot, because when we are feeling better internally and we help other people do the same, then what do you think is going to happen? The world's going to be a different place. So here's the thing. You're having a communication. You're giving up the word you. You always use the word I. When this and this and this happens, I feel. And we give up the word you, so we do not use the word you, and we stay with ourselves and our true feelings. We can't say, you make me feel. No one can make you feel anything. You get to choose how you feel. So that's why we use the words, the way I perceive this, or the way I frame this is that it's hurtful for me. It feels like an attack for me. It feels like I'm not safe. Whatever it is that's true for you, that's really going on. So you can be heartfelt, but you can also do it in a way that the other person has a right to feel it the way they want to feel it without feeling like, whoa, you're all over them. Because that's not the way you're going to get effective listening, and it's not the way you're going to get an effective answer. Now, the other person may or may not really hear you. They may be defensive because they're not in a place of being responsible. If you are defensive, then you are going to know right away that you are in fear and you're not being responsible. The minute you're sending it back with a defensiveness to someone else, you are not being responsible. So think about that. Be responsible for who you are, what you say, how you feel, how you project, and everything else. And when you do that, you'll feel more powerful. You'll feel more connected. You'll feel more together. And those conversations that you are not having will happen. And you will also find that your body will feel better and your health will improve. And many, many other awesome things are going to occur. So have the conversation. Stay with yourself. And this is just a little bit that's going to help you. Just do this, what it is that I'm speaking about today. Everything really will change for you. So I want to invite you. I want to invite you to a special retreat that I'm doing. And it is December 1st through the 3rd in the San Jose area in California. It's on loving self and beyond. And it is going to be literally off the charts. We already have about 10 people signed up, and we are limited. And so it's important that if you would like to do that, and we do have an early bird special going on right this minute. So if you would like more information about that, please private message me or email me if you know my email address, esateys@esateys.com, and I'll make sure that you get the information to help you know that, because I would love to be with you. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is your question for today. And the question for today is, what would it take for me to have the conversation? You know right now there's something in you that you haven't spoken about. So think about that. And right now make a decision to go have the conversation. What would it take for me to have the conversation? Because when you do, and you're impeccable with the way you deliver it and you own it, it will change everything inside of you. No attack, no blame. Just be honest. Until next time, go share this video and make it the most awesome week of your life so far, and feel a hug.